Oh, yes, it's working. I'm so happy. This is my first live on X, coming here from Instagram. Of course, this is clearly the better platform. Yes, is this going to ruin my reach once I re-upload it to Instagram? Which is how it should be, right? Properly recorded here. It's the better infrastructure. It's the better product. We all know it, We don't have to talk about it. But is it gonna get penalized when I re-upload it to Instagram? Yes, but it's worth it to me. I like to speak my truth. I like to encourage free-thinking individuals. But yes, let's not joke around too much. And by the way, these, the stuff they build on the houses, right, on the top of the rooftop apartments. Oh my God, you can make a lot of money with that. You have a house like this here. I mean, not here. This is a cheap district, right? I'm not living in the good neighborhood. I mean, there's no violence, right? Not right now. Right now, there's no violence, but it's not an expensive district. But if you're in the inner city, you have a house like that, and you do the whole rooftop thing. Oh, that's a good income source. Yes, very nice. So today I actually want to talk about what brings me to X, why am I writing, why am I doing all these videos? Of course, to entertain primarily myself, I guess, but anybody who finds it interesting, watch me do what I'm doing, crossing streets, making bad jokes, getting in my steps so I don't get too depressed. Walking is great for depression. I'm not sure, should I take the park? Sometimes there's dogs in there. There's always a part of me that's kind of wary. There's like, should I do this? Maybe it's not such a good idea, but yeah, I like to lean into my growth edge, So here you can see me leaning into my growth edge. It's a great experience. Bit nervous, but yeah. And I think this is a great example, right? I hope I can inspire you to also lean into your growth edge. Maybe do a small thing like this. It can actually be a large thing, or what do you say? One small step for me, a big step for mankind. Maybe it's not that extreme, but still I'm happy. So what I want to talk about is, so why am I writing? Why am I doing these videos, right? So what are my values? So I think one of my most important values is just autonomy. Like, I like to do whatever and there's some children there, but they don't understand English. Whatever the fuck I want to do, I just like to do that, right? I don't want anybody telling me what I want to do. I'm like, no, don't tell me what I should do. I had that experience at school. I was like, yes, I enjoyed that experience. I didn't enjoy that experience. And I've had enough of it. I don't need to live like that. I don't want that. So I want to shape my life in the way that I desire, right? But here is the catch. Let's cross the street. Yes, very safe. No car is coming. Unless a parking car might hit me. But it's worth it. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this video for you. I'm willing to take some risks, so you can have the best experience. So uninterrupted attention. I'll try not to look too much. And if a car hits me, you'll see that, right? Maybe you can call an ambulance if you're in the live. If nobody's in the live, that's a bad experience for me. Like, okay, maybe someone else calls an ambulance, right? This is a shop I often like to go into. It's really ugly inside, not very green, but they have quite nice products. I like it. Organic, I'm a bit of a snob, I guess, but I feel it makes a difference. Nowadays, a lot of people eat organic products, Is it better? Isn't it better? I think it is better. It tastes different. At least in my mind, I'm telling myself, this is organic, it tastes better, it is better. Oh, look at it, maybe it's the placebo effect. God knows, in the end, I don't mind. I can't control it. Yes, little boy, very happy looking at me, very aware. The children, like I said, children are so present, so aware. They're like, whoop, And then you go into the subway, people are like, They're looking in their phone, they're like zoning out, you know. Of course, work can be exhausting sometimes, right? Especially when you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks of holiday a year. You know, that's, sorry for the graphic kind of thing. Hopefully I don't get blocked. Not on X, you know, it's not gonna happen. Thank you, Elon Musk. Appreciate that. Freedom of speech. But probably on Instagram I'm gonna get flagged, gonna get reported, right? So yes, for the people on X, I know it's no problem for you. Everyone who was listening on Instagram, you know, if I offended you with that, please don't report me. I really don't want that. Please don't do it. But like I always say, you know, if that's your sovereign decision to do that and you feel you have to do that, I thought someone was following me. But turns out it's just my paranoia. So that's very calming, you know. That's the moment where you realize your paranoia is actually something positive, because you're like, oh, nothing's going on, right? It's like, soothing, right? Just my paranoia. So like I always say, seeing the positive side in things, that's an example, right? Paranoia is something good. Don't train it if you don't have it. Don't be like, yes, how can I condition myself to be more paranoid? Don't do that. It's not my advice, really. But coming back to Instagram, the people on Instagram watching, the two people on Instagram who are watching this, if I'm lucky, 2 people. That's how my reach is on Instagram. I know it's not the best self-promotion. I'm trying very hard. Like I said, all the trauma makes it hard for me to position myself in a positive light. There's always this voice in the back of my head, paranoia, you know. It all combined, it's a heavy burden to carry. But I'm trying my best, give value to you. I'm so sorry if I'm looking, but it's just this kind of survival instinct kicking in. So yeah. And yeah, the people that feel they need to report it, you know, this kind of gesture that I did, of course, that wasn't a real gun. It was a water pistol, right? And it was just in the context of a joke. I wouldn't really do that, you know. So, but if you feel still, it's bad. Yeah, there's the tree that attacked me. I think that was yesterday. It again tried, like I said, gonna be cut down. I can sleep sound and safe knowing justice is going to be served here. Wow, children are running, so much energy, right? And yeah, so if you feel you want to report, just to close that, then do it, you know. And yeah, I will be emotionally hurt, right? So let's say 2 people watch me on Instagram, 1 person reports me. That is not a good ROI, or what do you call it? Not good statistics. If I calculate that 1 times 2, 2 divided by 1, right? Well, it's not the opposite. It's 50%. You know, let's say it's 50% of my viewers report me. I'm not happy with that statistic, right? So please don't do it. So what are my values, right? And the graphic thing that I showed, I'm not going to show it again. I don't want to risk being banned on Instagram, you know. Maybe we're going to do a live at some point that is just X. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be unfiltered, right? I don't have to be so politically correct. I can feel it even in this moment right now when I'm talking. I think, oh, this is going to be streamed to Instagram. Like my spine just becomes a little bit more rigid, you know. And certain muscles in my body, they get a little more tense, right? I think it's just a natural reaction, having been conditioned, you know. Yes. So my value, big value, is autonomy. I just want to do what brings me joy. Okay, let's take some risk here. Cross the street where you shouldn't cross it. Very good. The testosterone, very high on testosterone today. Yes, another man is running. Wow, beautiful. People are so active. So autonomy is great, but it's not so easy to get there, right? Let's say you grow up in an average family, middle class, maybe bottom middle class, what do you call it? I don't even know what that's called, you know, but let's say your parents don't make that much money. The education is not that incredibly good, right? Is it really better education when you make more money? I don't know. I haven't tried it, right? Like I said, I don't live in the best neighborhood here. Of course, it is the best neighborhood here. I love this neighborhood here. Yeah, so I just had to say that because there were some people walking by. I didn't want to make enemies here. It's not a good neighborhood, right? Now I can safely say that. So you don't actually learn at school how to be fucking independent, how to be autonomous, how to be a free-thinking individual. Like, you don't learn that at school, right? And if you're like a young person watching this, you're going to school, my advice is not to quit school, right? That's not my advice. But maybe it's a good idea, to be honest, right? If I would talk to my younger self, maybe. But you need some support system anyways, right? And if you quit school, you either need to be strong enough yourself, and that means emotional strength. You need to be able to... Why is oh yeah, outdoor walk is recording, right? Great. My watch is recording everything. So you need to be... You can tell it's very hard to distract me. Like my focus is just like a magnet, very strong, what they call it, ADHD, attention deficit or something. I don't even know what that is. It certainly doesn't apply to me, right? So we don't need to worry about that. There's something in the tree there, right? So, where was I? You need emotional strength, right? I don't need to work on my voice protection because I don't have a microphone. And I think I'm straining my voice because yesterday I was doing a live and it was like 1 hour, like 20 minutes. And I was like, whoa, like this is long. And I tried to upload it to TikTok, everywhere. Where can I get some views, right? And I was like, no, your video is too long. It's 60 minutes, right? So I had to cut it with QuickTime on my Mac, right? It was a very arduous process. Wasn't good, not a good experience. But it worked, I did it. And I think 2 people watched it also on TikTok, which was a great success. Hopefully they're not gonna be punishing me there for things I'm saying, right? Maybe not, right? I think they're too young to do that. They're young and fresh people there. That's in my head, right? I'm like, yes, the young crowd, that's TikTok. So, and of course on X, it's the cool crowd, right? On X, the cool crowd. And on Instagram, it's the politically correct crowd, right? People like a little bit more uptight, a little stiffer, right? But they are correct. Nice people, right? You're nice as long as you don't report me. If you report me on Instagram, for everyone watching on Instagram, the 1 or 2 people watching on Instagram, don't report, then I don't think you're nice if you do that. It's just not nice, right? It's mobbing, basically. Very aggressive activity. Don't do it. But if you feel you need to do it, yes, then you have to do it, you do it. Okay, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just not gonna like you anymore. But you have to deal with that, That's strength. I'm helping you into your growth edge, like in the park before. This is a learning experience. We are here to learn, we're here to grow, and I'm happy to facilitate that. You're very welcome. So, let's say you are in school, you want to break out. If you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, younger me was like, yes. At first I was like, no, starting a business, that's like rich people do that, It's special, you can't do that. I saw no pathway for doing that, right? So difficult. Couldn't imagine it, right? But even if you can imagine it, maybe you're a genius, right? You're like, I can do it. Lucas, shut up, I'm gonna do it. I won't stop you. Disregard my advice, go and do it, right? The person saying it can't be done shouldn't interrupt the person who's doing it, right? I'm not gonna interrupt. But I'm gonna say, from my own experience, starting a business, it's not a straight line. It's then you make some progress, right? And then it's again, and it's Like I can feel it even. Maybe that's the ascent, the incredible ascent here to the mountaintop, right? Or maybe it was just me talking about my business journey. Something happened there. Some emotion got triggered. Might have to talk about that with my therapist, right? So it's challenging. You need a supportive environment. Now, if you're like, fuck school, and your parents are like, no, you don't fuck school, son, daughter. No. You're like, well, sometimes they might adapt. You're like, yes, gonna fuck school. You smile, maybe you still don't do what they want to do. At some age, that's good, right? If you're like 8 or something, yeah, don't quit school yet. Wait a little, until puberty hits. Then if you're a man, you have some more testosterone. You can go like, fuck you, parents, right? Which is natural, and we need to do that. Otherwise, we are just a copy of our parents. We repeat the same stuff over and over and over, and it's not good, right? So, by the way, I was hoping, because I was like, okay, we have the comments, messages, right? I was like, enable for everyone. I was like, maybe someone's gonna come and troll me. Be like, make some jokes about this here. I've had that on TikTok. TikTok was horrible. It was like a test to my self-esteem, my confidence. Wow. Oh my God. I'm probably gonna get a tick when I get in there, but oh wow, it's worth it, right? Slow death, FSME, and yeah, I'm actually gonna plug this. People are like, no, don't take the flower, it dies. It's gonna die anyways. Why not pluck it and enjoy the flower? I'm an egotist in that sense. Look at this. This is enormous, right? We're gonna spread it here oh my God, the smoking, right? Just one. I was like, and one of them was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna fly, right? It's interactive. You can also, go along with it. You can go into your phone if you feel like that. Maybe it's entertaining, right? To you, to the people around you, they think you're retarded, right? You can do that. Feel free to do that. There's some stuff coming out of it, like the white milk, right? This is totally related to the business. I'll find a way to link that. Just give me a second. Wow. And everything, it's gone now, Throw this away. We don't need it anymore. And there's going to be life. It's going to be, life is going to happen here. It's going to grow. They're going to go into the earth. I don't know when they're going to terminate, what's going to happen, No longer my responsibility. Don't think this way about your children. If you have children, don't treat it that way, Humans are not spiders. There is some level of care. We should care for our children, definitely. So, what about the entrepreneurship? Like, you're a kid, you want to kind of break out of that. You need support. You need a support system. Maybe your parents, maybe your friends, right? Maybe, like I said before, your parents, after some time, they're like, oh, well, okay, my kid doesn't want to do that. It's has a different plan. We're going to support him. For me, that took a long time with my parents, but I did it at a later age, right? For a long time, they were like, what the fuck are you doing? Just get a job. And, well, I didn't, right? And at some point, people give up. That's a bad thing. If you're depressed, don't give up, Don't give up yet. Look at the beautiful world, Oh, look at the sunset. Even better when you can experience it yourself. Just a moment. I will be enjoying it just, so you can proxy enjoy it through me. I can't see a lot because I'm short-sighted, right? But there's some lights in the distance, I think, there. This direction, approximately. No, it's beautiful. Very beautiful. Yes? You get into a state of awe when you look at nature, when you shut up for a second, right? Sometimes it happens. So you need a support system to go through the inevitable challenges, failure, whatever's going to happen, right? It's not so easy, right? I'm not dissuading anyone. No, do it. Go for it, right? Would I do it all over again? Wrecking 1, 2, 3 relationships with great women. Would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again because I was following what I thought is the right path for me, And that's something you cannot. There's no amount of money that will be equal to how you say that. There's no amount of money you can pay a person if they're acting in alignment with their values. They're like, no, these are my values. I know how I have to live. I know what I have to do. Maybe a lot of money, right? Maybe you offer me a lot of money. I'm like, okay, fuck my values, just give me the money. I'm going to do whatever, right? That's not actually, it was just a joke. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Not for if it's too little money, right? Has to be good amount of money. Let's talk specifics in the DMs, if you have a specific offer, write in the DMs. And like I said on Instagram, please no weird images. Don't send me any weird images in the direct messages, right? It's not cool, right? If you send a weird image, like I said, also send me some money, right? Send the money and a weird message and then highlight it. Yeah, here's the weird message and the money, or something that I know, attention, weird image plus money, and I don't open the message. You send the message, I don't open it, I get the money, you get to send whatever you want to get off your chest. Like I said, it's like a therapy basically. One unidirectional therapy. You send it, I don't open it, you get rid of that stuff, whatever it is. I'm not liable, whatever you sent me, right? Well, it sounds really fucked up, right? But I'm not liable, Imagine you're putting it in a waste bin, right? Goes in there, I'm not gonna look at it. But don't forget, send the money, right? Just sending the picture, not sending the money, that's not okay. Don't do that, please. I would really plead. No, that's a weak word. I would insist that you don't do that. That's not okay, There's a line somewhere, Grüß Gott. There's a little doggy coming. That lady was really friendly, smiling at me, very happy walking her dog. It's a great time to walk your dog now. It's a beautiful evening sunlight. And my watch is going crazy. Yeah, I don't care about recording this walk. Thank you. Need to disable that. It's like the Apple Watch it completely messed me up. I think I should disable all the vibrations, right? Like when I got it, I was always excited. I was like, oh, it's vibrating again. What happened? What's going on, Apple Watch? And the watch is like, oh, you did this. You hit your achievement, movement target, whatever. I was really excited, but after some time I was like, yeah, okay, I know. You don't need to tell me. And I was like starting to eliminate all the notifications. But some of them I apparently missed. It's still trying to be helpful, trying to be useful, trying to be my little servant, my little bitch on my wrist, doing my dirty work. Like, oh, this sounds so weird. Doing the dirty work of measuring my movement and other stuff. It doesn't measure my sleep. I use that ring, Aura ring, right? This is not an ad for Aura, but I'm quite happy with it. Let me show it to you again. Here's the Aura. Sorry, I didn't mean that. That was not for Instagram. Let me show you again the ring. By the way, this is very unprofessional. This is my everything goes profile, But the good thing is I'm a ghostwriter, so, right, I write for people and they're like, okay, now this is your personality. Get it all out on your own profile. But please don't do that on my profile. And of course I don't Otherwise, I would be out of a job. That wouldn't be good. This is why this channel exists, right? Everything my clients don't want to have on their profile, it's all on this profile. It's like a magnet for stuff. I use it like a magnet to pull out that offensive stuff, so I don't have to write it when I do other content, right? Wow, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's probably not as impressive on the phone, but I always love this spot, right? Yeah, so if this is the first live you watch from me, you're like, hey, interesting spot. If this is the second or third live or more, you're like, yeah, I already know the spot. You don't have to show it again, right? I've seen that before, but it's not the same, right? Every day it's different. You have to pay attention, like every moment is a new moment, right? Rediscover life, right? So, yeah, coming back to the kid, you need a support system. So, and your parents might not be that supportive. Nobody teaches you the skills, how do you do business, right? And I have a story. I'm gonna tell another story because we're talking about values. I'm all about the autonomy, doing what I want to do. I'm all about, finding unique paths to do things. Because if you look in general society, it's like, yeah, there's some things. No, you can't do that. This is the way to do it. It actually doesn't work, but it's the only way. So you better do it. I'm not a friend of that. I'm like, whatever. If there's another way that I can do it, that is better, that works, right? Why not do it? And sometimes these paths are hard to find, but it's a lot easier with the internet, right? Because you have so many people with different life experience, they're doing different things, and they're sharing what they're doing. And you can learn from them. And without the internet, this was a lot harder, right? Which is also a reason, and this is connected to the whole topic of creator economy and the ability or the possibility of monetizing via the internet. Like if you're having a business, you can do pretty much everything over the internet, right? You can market, you can connect with people, sell them what you're offering. You can deliver your work via the internet. Unless you have like a physical product, of course, then you can't do that. But a lot of service, business, digital products, you can do that over the internet. You can really do a lot over the internet. And every aspect of business is pretty incredible. And we didn't used to have that in the past. Like it was very difficult, marketing channel. You need to do paid advertisements, right? Costs a lot. If you are doing paid advertisement, your marketing message is shit. Yes, there is somebody who wants to be. No, they don't. So if your marketing message is shit and you run a paid ad, what's gonna happen? Your ROI is gonna be zero, right? Apart from the ability to test if it's gonna work or not, right? But in general, it's a game of luck, right? It's difficult. But with social media, you don't have that. You don't have this game of luck where you're blowing your money into advertisement, but you're blowing your time, which you have, right? As most people, they have more time than they have money, unless you're very rich, and then it reverses. You're like, fuck, I need more time. So that's why yesterday I watched a video by Alex Hormozy, and he was like talking about how, he likes his stuff to be done by other people, like people that fold his clothes, that clean his house. And of course it makes sense. You can judge people who are rich for doing that, but it's understandable that they would do it. And I think they deliver great value to other people, so I'm not judging them. But what you get with social media, now you post, right? You spend your time, your sweat, your blood, your tears, right? Like me right now, you're working, you're an underdog, you're creating that content for X, and it's not firing, right? So what do? Well, you hire a ghostwriter. You write me, Lucas, please, can you help me to make my threads viral, right? Please, Lucas, help me. I want to make more money with my business. And I'll be like, well, actually I already, if you remember the story from yesterday with the blinds, selling blinds, amazing product, hyper niching, blinds for ice cream parlors, right? If you haven't watched that live, you're like, what the fuck, get to the point. I'm like, okay, you're gonna say, please, can you write some threads for me? And I'll be like, well, I already have clients, kind of, I'm not sure, maybe I can put you on the waiting list. You're like, then you get anxious. You're like, I don't want to go on the waiting list, Lucas, right? I want these I want these amazing results right now, I've seen you can deliver that. I've seen those amazing threads you've been writing. Please, just do a few for me. Doesn't even have to be that many, right? And I'll be like, I don't know, maybe I can put you on the list. It's not gonna take that long. And you're like, okay, screw the list. I'm gonna pay more, right? And I'll be like, okay, I'm listening. How much more, And then we're gonna enter a nice discussion, and we can arrive at a great conclusion for both of us. Very lucrative for me, very good for you as well. You get the amazing views that you've been craving, that your ego has been craving. You can finally feel good about yourself, like me, like I'm feeling good about myself with all those views, right? That's what I'm selling, basically, right? No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot more going on, right? You want to build authority. You want to convince people that you're doing something useful in the world. It's a good thing. I love spreading powerful ideas. I love supporting people that have an inspiring vision, that are like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have an impact in the world. That's why I have in my banner, I have impact. Maybe you watch that in the future, you're like, Lucas, what are you talking about? Your banner says, your banner is selling your soft drink, right? Or whatever, your banner is selling the nail polish, right? Or some crap. And I'm like, well, maybe that changes in the future. I also have to make decisions that are good for me. If I can monetize with nail polish, get really rich doing that, probably gonna do it. Like I said before, I have my values, but if the number is right, if it's long enough, I'm out of here, right? Enjoy the nail polish or whatever I'll be selling. Buy it. If you're watching this in the future, please go buy whatever I'm advertising. It's great. I'm sure I've decided that from the bottom of my heart. I will only stand in for good products. So you can safely buy that now. Just go there, go to the website, check it out, watch the testimonials, buy it now. Very good, right? But that's what I like to do. For now, I have impact on there because I love to make a positive impact on the world. Because why else would I be here, right? If not to make a positive impact. That's a value of mine. And I want to help other people who want to disrupt a certain industry, who want to leave their mark on the world, empower people, push civilization forward, create something amazing in the world. If I can help them to get more rich, that makes me happy. And it makes me rich. These are two things that I like. I like to be happy and I like to be rich. 1 + 1 = 2, which reminds me of the 2 Instagram viewers. If I'm lucky today, one reports me, that's 50%. As you can tell, my math is very good as well. So that should also give you trust in my capabilities. So yes, this was enough of a pitch. I think it was a very good pitch. I'm happy. I can also pitch for you if you want. I will do it in a very similar way, but without all the jokes. And yes, very good. I'll do it. I'll try my best. I promise. Please don't go away. Please buy from me. Whatever I'm selling. Now if you are a kid, right? Let's go back to the kid. It's getting dark, as you can tell. The sun is setting slowly. If you're a kid, you want to live a conventional life. Leave, not lead, right? If you want to lead a conventional life, turn it off. Turn off this life. Whatever it is, a reel, a post, whatever format it's going to get pushed into. I wonder if that, whatever that thing was that I blew, this kind of little seeds, if it's already germinating. I'm a very patient person. Women love that quality about me. Like, Lucas, you're so patient. I really love this about you. You're the most patient guy. As you can tell, right? I'm very patient. So, as a kid, you don't want to do the conventional path. Well, if you don't have the internet, you're fucked, right? Like I was, but it's not completely true. There was a little bit of internet. You know, there was the 56K modem. There was like the beginning of cable internet, which was a gift from heaven. It was like, ooh, you know, finally you can go on the internet. You're not like waiting, like, okay. There was Napster, illegal download of MP3s. Yes, I was too young to be responsible. My father did that. I was just like a bystander. I was not involved really. And then I started doing it too. Actually, I must admit, why did I do that? Well, it was just because of the bad influence, my father teaching me, right? Sorry, Dad. That was not a good choice, but we did it. But my father still bought a lot of albums. I still bought a lot of albums. You know, people got their money. It's fine. And the stuff you didn't buy, you know, after listening on the internet, well, I guess that wasn't good enough. Sorry, not trying to offend anyone, right? But yeah, the internet gives a lot of possibility for education, for spreading your message, for reaching people, for selling your services and products. It's amazing. And there's so many people now today that are teaching this, that are teaching people how you can start your own business, right? It's very trendy and it's not easy. No, it's not a straight line. Maybe for some people it's easy. If it's easy for you, I'm happy for you. I'm also a bit angry and anxious. Some hidden aggression is coming up, but still, that's good for you. I'll try to have some positive vibes here. So it's challenging, right? To do that, and you need a supportive environment. And I mean, there's a lot of support now because you can tap into the internet, but still you need actual people that can support you. People that are like, you know, I believe in you. I think you can do this. I know it's hard. You don't want people around you that are like, oh, like, look, you're trying the business and now you failed, you know, go back to a normal job. You know, that's not the right motivation. No. I mean, if you need to make ends meet, by all means, yes, you need a job. I understand that. But failure is not a sign that you shouldn't be doing it, right? Failure is a sign that you're on the right track. Failure is a reverse indicator that you're doing it right, you know? Like anxiety, fear. You are afraid, you're nervous. No, I'm excited, right? That's the reframe. Positive psychology, I am excited. It is a positive thing. It is a reverse indicator that you're doing the right thing if you're scared. That doesn't apply if you do something physically dangerous. Of course, you cross the street, you're like, this car is coming very fast, you know, big car, fast car. You're like feeling fear. I'm afraid. You're like, this is a reverse indicator. You're like, yes, and like, boom, and it's not good. You're gonna get hurt. Don't do that. You have to differentiate. It's nuanced, like everything in life, right? It's nuanced. Be patient. Life is going to reward that. At some point, I don't know when, but just be patient, you know? At some point it's gonna happen. No, I'm kidding. It's a reward in itself when you can do that. I'll be honest. So, yeah, that's one of my values, autonomy. And I just want to do what I want to do in my life. And once you decide on a certain direction, you're going to meet obstacles, right? So what I'm basically doing here is I'm just sharing there's this thing coming again, like a quad, you know. Somebody's enjoying their whatever thing they bought. They bought it, they're like, yes, going to take it for a test drive. This is a safe space to do it. All right. So, yeah, you meet obstacles when you do that. You try to do something and then you hit obstacles. That's what happened to me, right? And I'm basically just trying to share from my experience, having hit those obstacles, how I overcame them, right? How the values that I have, the vision that I have for my life, working for myself, doing what I want, having an impact, having time freedom, being able to spend time with my son whenever the fuck I want to do that. Not when my boss at work says, oh yes, Lucas, little boy, here, go take 2 weeks. And then you get a call, you're like, no, actually, yeah, we have so much work. You can't go on holidays now, please stay, right? So you can design a life where this doesn't happen. It's possible. Many people have done it. It's certainly possible to do that. I'm on my way there. It's not an easy way. Jesus, it's so dark, right? You're like, what is this? It's not even a video, but it is a video. I assure you that your phone is going to produce ample black light, blue light, unless maybe it's an OLED screen. But even then, it's not black. There's some color there. That's going to be blue light. Don't look into it if it's before bedtime. It's going to suppress your melatonin. Just coming back to that. It's such an important lesson. Mainly saying that for myself, probably, that I shouldn't do that. So I'm just trying to share those lessons with you, basically. That's what I'm doing in a very entertaining format. Hopefully for the people on X. Instagram people, not so much. They don't find it entertaining, they find it offensive. But I think, sorry, I've insulted everyone on Instagram now. I'm just joking. I'm doing a lot on Instagram, you know. Like I said before, this is a fantastic neighborhood. Instagram is fantastic. I love Instagram. I love Facebook. I love the ads they show me. I love the intermittent conditioning reward system that they do, you know, how they filter the ads. I love that. Please, more of that. I just want to consume. I want to zoom through my feed. That's a good experience for my brain. Helps me to concentrate. Helps me to focus on business tasks. All around, very useful. Thank you. So that's what I'm sharing here. The lessons I've had, the challenges I've come across, how I'm dealing with them. Challenge right now, it's very dark. I don't know a solution yet. That's how it is in business. You know, you face a problem. You're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Well, you need patience. My watch, it's blinking like crazy. I have stopped that now again. And that's what I'm sharing, how to overcome those challenges, right? Just how I overcame the challenges that I'm having. And maybe you resonate. Maybe you can resonate, maybe not with this black image now, but with my voice, following the sound of my voice, right? Beautiful. Maybe you can resonate with my values. You want to do whatever the F you want to do with your life. You want to spend time with your children whenever you want, when you decide. You want to remove the cap on your income. You're not like, oh yes, if I work 40 hours, 50 hours, and I get a promotion, and I work even harder and harder, then maybe I can hit my income goals, you know, but there's a cap, right? And why is there a cap? Like one of my mentors that I took some courses with, a guy that I really like, he's a bit crazy, but also very intelligent, very affluent person, doing some smart things, a reader, person who learns a lot. I'm not going to say who he is because it's just more exciting this way. And he said, a business is never going to pay you more than you're worth to the business. So the calculation is, in order to be employed, you need to produce more value than what you're being paid, right? So only way you can get the real value that you deserve is have your own business, or you have a very skill that's very desired, that's very an elite skill, very special skill. Only few people in the world can really do it, can really deliver those results. Like let's take something random, a ghostwriter in personal branding, let's say for X, right? Person who builds a powerful social presence, really establishes the leadership of that person, the proficiency, authority, creating a connection, emotional connection with people, going viral on the internet. It's a very hard skill, right? Not so easy to find someone who can do that well, that you actually trust, where you have alignment with the values. You're like, yes, this is a great person, It's not so easy. But if you have such a skill, yes, you have more leverage, right? If you have a very simple skill, for as long as AI and robots are not gonna take that over, well, you're safe. You're not getting paid a lot, but you're safe. And then the robots are gonna come. We'll see what happens then, right? God knows, or the AI knows, maybe. We'll change that in a few years. It's not gonna be like God knows. It's like AI knows. And you're like just nodding, because you can't, if you do this, something bad happens. Just have to do this, right? Maybe that happens, hopefully not. I don't think it's gonna happen. Please, let's not have this happen. I'm in slight anxiety now, talking about this. The future, the paranoia is returning, but the lights are also returning, which is positive. Let's focus on the positive. So, the ultimate leverage, you gain the ultimate leverage when you have your own business. But there's a lot of challenges, right? You need to find the right people that resonate with you. You need to find the right people that resonate with your product. You need to do the marketing right, the sales right. You need to deliver and over-deliver for your clients, There's a lot of moving parts. And if you haven't done that before, it's not easy to learn that. Like it's, Dan Coe says that. I love Dan Coe. He's not the mentor I talked about. No, he's also a great person, great mentor. I took a writing boot camp with him some time ago. He's a genius. I love this guy. But, what was I gonna say? I was like getting all like, Dan Coe, this beautiful man, used to have the long hair. What a bummer. He cut his hair short. So much more beautiful with the long hair. And then I also cut my hair short, just because I'm trying to be close to him, right? No, actually, that's not really what happened. I just had to get rid of it. I was like, no more hair. I've had enough of you, right? And then I cut it off. So that's just a side story. But actually, I forgot what I wanted to say about him. I was like, we have the AI gods, right? I wrote the thread about that. And you want to have leverage with your business. And you have the most leverage when you have your own business. Yes, now I got it. The skill stack. He says business is a skill stack, right? And imagine these, lock with a combination lock, I reverse engineered that word. Right now, on the spot, that was just my creative ability. I didn't have it saved. That was not simple memory retrieval. That was a creative process happening in real time. The brain is incredible. So you have a combination lock. Let's imagine each one of those is one of the areas of business. You have let's say, you have marketing, you have sales, you have, fulfillment, and maybe then you have all the administrative stuff you need to do, like taxes and all that other nice stuff. So you need all of them aligned. And there's sub-skills, like writing, for example, being able to create videos, video editing. There's like a huge number of things that you got to learn in order to deliver, right? To reach the certain people who want to buy from you, and then to persuade them that, hey, this is good, this product is good, this person delivering it is trustworthy, let's do this. And now I need to do more rhetorical questions, because I think they're good for engagement, for the engaging the mind so the learning happens, right? What do you think needs to happen for the combination lock to open? Well, you guessed it, all the numbers have to align, right? But I mean, business is not like every skill needs to be perfect, but you need a certain level of proficiency, because if you get the client and you're in the sales call, you're so nervous, spill your coffee, you're like, no, I'm shit, I don't deserve money. And they're like, how much is it, right? How much is it? And they're like, and you screw it up, right? Great up to that point, your product is fantastic, but you can't sell it. So what do? You watch motivational videos by Anthony Robbins because he's strong, he's big, he's got muscle, and you just imagine being more like him, right? And that helps. You watch that before the sales call, you go, before the sales call, you push yourself up. Very good. It was a little bit of a joke, but actually that might work. And you need to find ways to solve that, because you need all the numbers to align so you get the result, right? So business is a skill stack, which is challenging. You're starting out, you're like, I just want to get the result, right? Come on, right? Because you're a patient like me, you're like, come on, result, I want it. But it's not coming, because it's a skill stack. And all the time you're working, you're like, it's not so good. I need to stop swearing so much. It's really not good. It's a bad habit doing that. So it's was sassy, bad thing that happens, no result, but you're learning. You don't know that. Even with playing piano, it's called post-practice improvement. I read a book on that once, or part of a book. What's that blinking light? It's so intrusive. Something is going on there. Yes, but I don't mind. I don't need to know what's that. So, because my brain is like, what's going on there, huh? Something is happening. But it's not even curiosity. It's just like a sense of unease, a sense of like unease and dread, probably paranoia kicking in again. I recognize that early warning system, very good. Yeah. So you want the result, but it's not happening, but you're learning from feedback, which is great, extremely valuable. You're building something like the iceberg. It's building up, it's rising, but if you look at the water, you're like, there's nothing, right? I put in all this work into my business, and what's showing up, there's a seagull flying, shitting on the water, there's a fish. You're like, where's the iceberg? Where's the fruit of my hard labor? Where is it? I've invested so much. I have neglected my key relationships, haven't seen my children. I'm just working on the business. Where is the reward? That is the just reward, where is it? And it's under the water, you're investing. Of course, spend time with your family. I know, haven't done that in the past. I could have done some things differently. Spent more time with my respective girlfriends. Spend more time with my son, I'll be honest. And yeah, but there's progress under the water, but you don't see because of the surface of the water. And let's assume the water is not what you call it, translucent, transparent. I don't know the difference between those words. If you can tell me the difference between translucent and transparent, that would be great. That would be a learning opportunity for me. I would really appreciate that. But you can't see it, but it's happening, right? And it's just one of the lessons, like a big lesson in business, I think, that is important, especially when you're starting out, because you can easily get very discouraged because nothing's happening, right? So overall, this was a very big rant today. Another big rant, I think. I hope there was something in there for you that you liked. Maybe you just resonated with some of my products, whatever, the nail polish, whatever that will be in the future when I start to monetize ruthlessly. Please buy that. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, send over some money. Don't report me. Please don't report me. Share it with everyone. even if people don't want to see it. Just be proactive in your sharing. Just say like, you need to watch this. When they say no once, that doesn't really count. Let them say no at least 2 or 3 times. That's a proper, how you do it. Please don't do that in the real world, especially when you're talking to people. Please be considerate. Yeah, but just make sure you share it, be very persistent. Share it again and again until people will watch it, right? If they don't want to watch it on their phone, just hold up your phone like this. Be like, just take a moment. Just take a moment, watch this. It's really good, right? You have to be persistent. It's a business lesson, right? Let's say this is a business lesson. You need to learn how to sell. Might as well start selling these amazing lives of mine. It's a benefit for everyone. I get very rich. The people get amazing entertainment, great education. What more can you hope for? With those words, I'm going to close. Sending lots of love. X is an amazing platform. I love Instagram. It's wonderful. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening on whatever platform you're in. Whatever amazing country in the world you're in, you and your loved ones. Take care, much success. I wish you success on your path, in your life, happiness, freedom, peace of mind. Whatever you are wishing for that is positive. Jesus Christ, not harming other people. I wish that for you. May you be happy. Take care. Why is it not working?